Welcome to the Popcorn Talk Network, for the online broadcast network that features movie discussion, news, and interviews. Press 1. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
From the Popcorn Talk Network, the online broadcast network for movie talk, and the schmoes know, this is Guilty Movie Pleasures. In-depth discussion on movies, no matter how guilty they make you feel.
Hard rain. We're not even gonna go. We're not even gonna say welcome to the show. Fuck it. We're going hard friggin' rain today on Guilty Movie Pleasures. My name is Josh Macuga. I'm so full of hard rain.
We're doing a movie that even Ben Begley doesn't own.
Ben Begley actually thought he might go to the library and find a copy of Hard Friggin' Rain.
Couldn't find it.
To Ben's left is our good buddy Casey Schlosser.
There we go.
I like Casey though.
Casey?
Casey.
We just put it together.
Me and Kesha could be like a...
Or your Sean Connery. Casey, welcome to the show. And to my right, the musical director of Between the Sheets, Mark Enrietto. And obviously to my immediate left, my co-host. You guys know him from his Hallmark movie, Well, Love, You're Here Again. Ben Begley.
Brilliant performance.
Guys, welcome to the show. Thanks for being on.
Having us, man.
This is so fun,
is awesome.
Yeah.
That's your version of Jimmy Kimmel's Matt Damon joke. You realize that? Yeah. That's your version of it.
We all got to steal something from Kimmel.
Never give me a legitimate intro. Just make up shit.
And if you guys hadn't noticed by me yelling at the beginning of the show, we're doing Hard Rain today, guys. And this was...
Which you're yelling very, aggressive, as if this movie has any super badass Hard Rain. It's just the title's that. The movie itself doesn't have a super tough guy in it or anything.
What? Christian Slater?
Christian
Slater in a wet t-shirt contest for most of the movie.
Yeah, looking cool.
The guy that played Boggs in Shawshank Redemption, getting back together with Morgan Freeman. The role that got Minnie Driver this role, her role in Good Will Hunting, led straight to Hard Rain.
Clearly.
It's just a clear progression.
Yeah. Betty White's finest performance as an actress.
Betty White.
Ed friggin' Asner. I'm Hard Rain, and I also support mutual life insurance. That's
looking at solar panel.
Oh, so I get it now. It was just Ed Asner's voice this whole time.
Yes, exactly.
That makes sense. Sorry, I just wanted to clarify that.
One day away from retirement, dead. It's classic plot device. Guys, Hard Rain was brought to my attention. I didn't even know what this movie was by Casey over here. I asked him, I was like, because Casey, unfortunately, is leaving Los Angeles. He's moving to the East Coast in about a week.
What?
And
the Mets are good. I have to go.
That's the Mets
reason.
That's the real reason.
It's pretty much the reason.
Yeah.
Mostly people to family, and I love the city.
Ben, by the way, thinks that people that go to the Metropolitan Museum of Art, he has no idea about anything sports. So.
I like museums.
Yeah, he's a big museum.
Big museum buff, guys.
Very nice.
And
I have a membership to LACMA.
Heard of it?
I believe it's pronounced LACMA.
They do great films.
I like LACMA.
I like Padma Lakshmi as well. Okay. And Casey, I was like, Casey, I wanted you to come on the show before you move. Very talented guy. Just made a movie. It's called The Conspiracy Connection. Yeah. I started watching it last night. You're sending it to all the festivals and stuff, I believe. So, I mean, until it gets picked up for distribution.
On, guns blazing, no Facebook, no Twitter, barely an email, maybe a phone. No way for any viewers to watch the movie for at least a few months, so keep tuned. Yeah, excellent.
Put that in your brain now and remember it.
Exactly, for at least a lot of time.
But so I'm talking to Casey about coming on the show. He's like, let me think about it. And then midnight on a Friday, I'm drunk and I just get this text message, single, Hard Rain. And I was like, I've never heard of this movie. Then I talked to Mark and he's like, yo, you want to do Hard Rain? I'm like, what is Hard Rain? I don't even know what Hard Rain is.
Wait, so this is two separate ideas that came up with Hard Rain?
No, but
he came up with it.
Okay.
So I got out of work and I went over to his house. We have a couple of beers, and you had asked me what movie I want to think about, and I take umbrage with some of the other selections that you've done because you have picked on the show some of the finest works of art that Western civilization has possibly ever turned out.
Well, that's the thing. Is the argument
Predator is at least number 3 in the top action movies of all time. It's just.
I wasn't here when they picked Predator. I never would have agreed to that being a guilty movie pleasure.
That was definitely. I never thought was a guilty movie pleasure, but there are some guilty parts of that. But again, it is top 3 favorite action movies of all time. Now, on the flip side of that, Commando is 100% a guilty movie pleasure.
Yes, that's a guilty movie pleasure of all time.
That's 100%.
I am genuinely feel guilty for loving this movie with every part of my heart. I was enthralled watching this movie. Just enthralled.
I can't wait to get into why.
But that's the beauty. There's no why.
As soon as he brings up Hard Rain, you're like, have you never seen it? I'm like, no. He's like, Christian Slater, Morgan Freeman vehicle. I'm like, oh my god.
Robin Hood, Princess Thieves.
The first time I'm watching this was Saturday night. I wasn't feeling too hot, so I stayed in, and I'm watching Hard Rain. And I'm live tweeting my experience of Hard Rain.
I saw you live tweet once, by the way.
No, there was like 35 tweets.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
You must have only tagged me or whatever.
Tagged you in one of them,
okay.
yeah. And this movie just blew my mind. Midway through watching this, I'm like, holy shit. This movie, well, it doesn't stop raining the whole movie.
Whole time.
It's a ticking clock. The whole town goes underwater. Yeah.
I really hope they recycle the water.
This movie
they wasted a lot of water, guys.
That's why we have the drought.
That's
why
the drought was
$92 million down the drain.
Hard Rain, drought causer. And I'm like, Jesus, how much did this movie make? I'd do a quick IMDb. $70 million, roughly. It made $8 million.
Oh, it cost $70 million.
Cost $70 million to make. Made $8 million in the box office.
They should have made this and Waterworld at the same time and just saved $100 million. It would have been great.
You incorporate two brilliant movies into one amazing
simultaneously. They have a couple of characters in both.
As soon as I said brilliant, that YouTube and Twitter are going to explode with brilliant Macuga, brilliant. I use brilliant a little too
sarcastically.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I think the word brilliant and genius are overused, but I will say that
and literal,
not sarcastically,
literally.
Not sarcastically though.
No,
we're just getting started.
I know, but this movie, I mean, I'm like, oh, okay, so it starts in the rain. Oh, no.
It's already been raining.
It's been raining. Oh,
it can't stop raining.
It doesn't
If
stop.
it stops raining, then it's not hard rain anymore.
And there's no weather report or anything.
It's just hard rain, and then you can't have the climax of the movie a drizzle.
Yeah.
It can't go from hard rain to third act is sprinkle. Little
it's just
sprinkle.
spitting. It's a little
The clouds part.
Well, I'm surprised I didn't have it in the movie. Yeah, it's just
Minnie Driver's face.
Nope, just an awesome
just fade out.
awkward freeze frame at the end of it. But we'll get to that.
We will get
jars
to
of
that.
Quaid.
Now, Casey,
Minnie Driver's cutest reaction ever in that freeze frame. Oh, my church is gone.
The fact that they weren't able to get When the Levee Breaks for the soundtrack.
Come on,
pains me.
that would have been an amazing end to the credits song.
I could have had it on repeat the whole movie.
That's one of my favorite.
It's so
I would have loved if the movie ended with it. I can see clearly now the rain is gone.
Or what about raindrops keep falling on my head?
Well, that'd be just Randy Quaid just walking around in the sun. Because Randy Quaid.
I mean, we could just keep going. The sun comes out. I'm walking on sunshine.
Getting down.
So many.
Blind Melon, No Rain.
All I can say is that
Purple Rain.
Purple Rain. We were just listening to Prince on our way over here.
Now, here's the thing.
New songs.
When you said Purple Rain to me via text, I was like, or when you said Hard Rain, I was like, I think you mean Purple Rain.
Did your phone autocorrect purple to hard? I told you about how my phone autocorrects kinda to Katie Lang, right? But then, ironically, I've tried to then put Katie Lang in as a joke, and it doesn't know what I'm doing. So for some reason, kinda is Katie Lang.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Now, Casey, you are the Hard Rain expert. Did you see this in the theater? Was this more of like a Sunday afternoon on TBS?
I think I did see this in the theater with my family in a small town called Grayling, Michigan. They have like one
you
theater.
Thinking and you knowing are really graying right now. This did happen, right?
I do a lot of things that gray my general memory,
Truth.
you know?
Yeah.
So, I'm pretty sure I saw in Grayling, Michigan, this one small theater that they have. One theater. I saw Independence Day there on July 4th, the day it came out. Still
Oh
the
my
greatest
God,
movie of all
man.
time.
He still
Just
took
put
it.
that
We
as a
haven't
side.
done that on this show yet. That's a great movie.
That's a guilty movie.
I don't think that's guilty. Is it
When you
guilty?
rewatch it now, it's great, but there's some very guilty stuff in there.
Yeah.
But it's
Sure.
awesome.
Welcome to Earth.
Welcome to Earth.
Welcome to Earth.
He just knocks out an alien with a human fist.
I've done
It's
that
well said.
speech many
I
times.
can't wait to get to. You just reminded me of one of my favorite moments in Hard Rain, which is the underwater uppercut that he does.
Oh, right.
Where he swims up
Straight
and
out of Mortal
uppercuts a dude. I'm like,
Kombat,
I'm
man.
pretty sure that the water would kind of slow down your punch.
If you've ever tried to
Christian
punch
Slater.
somebody in the water, It's tough.
It's tough.
This movie
But-
bent the laws of physics more than the first two Matrix movies combined.
Yes.
Just science in general.
Just science.
When a power line
good
drops
taste.
in water, everything should get electrocuted, correct?
Technically, yeah. The electricity would continue, I do
Yes.
believe.
I do.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I didn't get an A in physics, but
it was great to see
the
the
science that-
transform. I mean, a transformer is what, 18
Quantum
feet up.
Yeah.
So the water level kept changing from like 4
There's
feet to
no-
12
yeah.
feet to 18 to like 7.5.
I love how there's no like. Okay, we should do the plot under.
Well, wait. When did you first see it? This
Today.
Week, this
Yeah.
This
Or
week.
Saturday.
I had seen it on VHS or something. I remember.
Yeah,
even,
same here. Back in the
when
day.
Yeah.
I saw it on VHS.
How old would I have been? 16? 16, yeah. And
Okay.
I was like, that was okay. I remember that was my reaction. I was like, jet skis were cool. And then I put it out of my brain until it came up. And then I watched it this morning till 20 minutes before I needed to be here. That's why I was late. And it actually, the action scenes are a lot of fun.
Yes.
It's completely
Yeah.
stupid.
Yes.
So stupid.
And there's so many serendipitous, ridiculous things that happen.
The tree coming in.
The tree coming into the police station.
The fact that every time they go into a building, the water mysteriously just starts rising quicker than it has the last 2 hours of the movie.
And,
absolutely.
And just how every act is divided by the levee broke more. You know,
Yeah.
you can
Oh, it's
clearly go
perfect.
Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. It's just, I mean, but I had fun. I fast forwarded through some plot stuff, but you know, all the action is pretty nonstop. You know,
Yeah, it's a great ticking clock. Now, what we do on the show is we like to do the plot in the movie in under 3 minutes. So we can start with Casey since this is his baby.
2, 1.
All right, long first intro shot, helicopter going in, covering the town, everything's flooding, coming in on Randy Quaid's face, where he turns around and says, "So we all gonna die?" Great.
Ben, go.
Oh shit! Okay, and then from there, I fast forwarded a lot. But there was you think that they're being robbed already, but it actually is the two security guards. It's Ed Asner and Christian Slater's character.
They drive a Brinks truck.
They have this moment that I fast forwarded through where they're like, I'm
All right, you're not doing plot today. Go. You fast forwarded too much of the fun.
I know the second half. Come back to me.
Okay, second half. Go.
Okay, so let's go back all the way to the beginning.
We have 2 minutes or a minute.
All right, so Morgan Freeman and his band of thieves are going to stop this armored truck with $3 million in it with Christian Slater and Ed Asner, and they are going to rob them because this is back when $3 million was a ton.
Correct.
And so.
The rain starts coming down like really fast, and they're like, look out! Are we on the road still? The truck gets full of water. They get up on top, and Christian Slater looks around. He's like, I don't see anybody. It was like, well, it's tough to kind of see.
Out there.
Henrietta, go.
And then here comes Morgan Freeman. We just want the money. That's all we want.
That's a good impression.
We just want the money. That's all we want.
10.
Oh man,
We're 20 minutes in.
Jesus Christ!
So
Christian Slater hides the money in a
After
cemetery.
Asner gets killed.
And then Minnie Driver enters, and they flirt, and then it's about like a minute chase scene, and then there's a great uppercut, and then the levee breaks. The levee keeps breaking.
More boat
The levee guy apparently is in on the robbery now.
He's shitting while the second levee breaks.
He had orders.
He wants a quarter.
He had to do it.
Yeah.
He had to do it.
45 seconds.
And then so now
epic gun battle at the end.
Actually, I think we're past it. I don't know. I think we have 10 seconds.
do we go?
Where do we start?
Let's go back to the uppercut.
This is the worst reading of plot. Again,
Macuga, bring us home.
Okay, so here's what happened. So the rain keeps coming down. They meet Betty White and her husband, and they have a rowboat. And they're like, you got to get away. And then you realize that Morgan Freeman is just chasing down to get the money. But then you realize the sheriff is in on the money. So now they keep fighting for the money. Christian Slater's in between. There's a sheriff that may be into the money, but we're not really sure. His character kind of flip-flops a lot. And then Minnie Driver's like, I got to save the church I've been working on the whole time. All she cares about is the church when she didn't care about anybody else. And then all of a sudden, there's a crazy gun battle. There's chasing, and Morgan Freeman's like, maybe I'll hang out with Christian Slater the rest of the time. Betty White doesn't die, her husband doesn't die, everybody else is dead, money goes away, and moves over.
That was actually, until the last 5 seconds, pretty coherent and pretty thorough.
That was amazing.
What I just realized, I have no concept of what 3 minutes actually is. I was like,
I got the first 20,
like 20 minutes.
The first 20 seconds on the opening
right
shot.
in.
I'm gonna go get some popcorn. We'll have 2 minutes, 40 seconds.
all Coppola on it.
Can we go back to the uppercut? No, we can't go back to anything.
We'll get back to it after. I think we were like, I don't know what time it was.
I think now is 3
2:50.
minutes.
I think 2:50.
Oh,
now.
yeah, maybe now it's 3 minutes.
So we we got there.
Okay, you know what, people?
Job,
just
buddy.
go watch Hard Rain.
It's more fun to
do it.
just watch you just spaz.
That was terrific. One bead of sweat comes
For
down.
the record, after the first 20 minutes, I pretty much know everything that happened. I wanted to be honest with the viewers in case I misspoke and somebody calls me out on a random Facebook message, which people have done before.
But it also had one of those trailers where it gave away the whole plot pretty much. Like in the trailer, Ed Asner gets shot, and then you see the Morgan Freeman coming out of the water and everything. Like, you know what's going to happen.
Morgan Freeman like Wyatt Earp.
Man, yeah. Like, Wyatt Earp.
In Tombstone, when he's in the thing,
So
he's like, pow, 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 pow.
Oh, he's going across the river?
I've never seen anything like that. Yeah, because nothing like that would ever happen. No. Yeah.
Guns fired so well underwater. It was shotguns that have been underwater
Soaking.
for 12 hours just come up.
Yeah.
Flying.
I don't know the mechanics of guns that well, but the firing pin, I assume, wouldn't spark. So I think
If you're ever watching
So you
a
gotta
movie
hold a
that,
lighter to it while you shoot. I think that's what Arnold does. Yeah.
I think like my favorite part of this movie are the glaring plot holes that present themselves, but not plot holes per se. I'm just like, wait, what kind of moments?
That's okay.
In Hard Rain. Okay, let's start with.
Start at the beginning.
Let's start at the beginning. Okay?
Great.
Apparently, the town has been evacuated because of flooding.
Yes.
Okay, this tiny little sleeper of a town. Also, another thing you guys have to realize is that Randy Quaid has been the sheriff for 20 plus years, but he didn't get reelected for sheriff in this
He's
town.
some kind of asshole.
He's pissy.
And the mayor's like, "Oh, sheriff, go fuck yourself, I'm out." And the sheriff's like, "I got to stick around in my Bruce Willis striking distance boat."
And I gotta.
Good job.
That was
a good
We haven't done striking distance on this show yet.
I will fly back.
Man. Striking distance is incredible.
I haven't seen it in 15 years.
Yeah,
So.
it's shot in Pittsburgh, so the movie's perfect, obviously.
Fantastic.
Now we're going down a rabbit hole.
Well, let's not get to such.
Yeah, we're tangenting. So
Executive
go ahead. You're
Well, no, I mean, first off, did I fast forward through why this town has $3 million in the bank?
it seems like a really small town because
to have $3 million in the bank.
Indiana small town.
Yeah, in the movie The Town, the most money they actually get from an armored truck is like $450,000, which is in Boston.
Yeah.
Unless
not
they're
as big as
collecting
you think
all
it
of
is.
the money in the armored truck of all time.
Well, they have other armored trucks inside this armored truck. It's like a Russian doll of armored trucks. So they have
money
pretty big,
everywhere.
like Indiana and parts of Ohio.
It's like French
whatever
connections.
touches
The whole
Indiana
Midwest
everywhere.
has one
armored
armored
truck.
truck.
and
Just
we
goes
put
around the
Ed
tri-state
Asner
area.
in front of it.
Yeah, and obviously Ed Asner and his mutual life insurance policies, they protect him whilst driving the armored truck.
Here's the first thing that happens for me is, again, like every other movie in the 90s and 80s, there's a band of criminals that you don't know how they all got together, and you're just
Craigslist.
like because they're at the
Community
bar
section.
and there's the
Rip
guy
off
who's
one of those guitar lesson flyers.
Would you
Want to
like-
rob a armored truck? Oh shit!
Men for men.
Bucket
It's just
list.
crosswords ads.
You know, the whole
It's just
the whole thing in the bar when they establish the one guy's an idiot, the one guy's the tough guy who's over this shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Then there's the brains of the
Brains of the
Yeah,
operation.
the
And
chemistry,
Mr.
the Walter
what's his
White.
name? What, they call him like Mr. What's his
Mr. Miller.
Mr. Miller.
Yeah, he's
Mr.
like
Mello.
a physics teacher. He even has the tape in between.
Right, yeah.
God.
Good
Every
lord.
time a bad guy
His
died.
death is awesome.
What?
Shot through the eye.
Oh yeah, right in the eyeball. Yeah.
Slow motion.
And then his
the glasses go down.
land on a tombstone.
On a tombstone.
We just
On
skipped
a
an hour and a
tombstone.
half, but it's
We just
okay.
ruined the
So
movie.
good.
Wow. I mean, at
You
this
probably
point.
get it.
Yeah.
We'll come back to it.
Yeah, we'll circle back. Can we get back to the uppercut?
Hashtag get back to the uppercut.
Yeah. Instead of get to the chopper, it's get back to the uppercut. Come on.
Oh man.
Now, for me, I think the plot holes really start going when Betty White starts talking about back in '73, which is never touched on again in the movie. You just figure back in '73 there was another big flood, and they didn't evacuate then. And they're like, well, we're sticking with our house because no matter what, it's underwater. We still love the property that we have. Hey, dummies. Don't stick around.
You can come back after the flood.
It's a flood.
It's a bait and tackle store. It'll be fine. Yeah. It's meant to be in the water.
Everything's
It'll just float the store.
meant
You'll
to
be
be in the
You know what
water.
you never see in this
work.
entire movie? A fish. There isn't one fish, one shark.
Mind blown.
I just
You see
saw
a
that.
goat. You see a goat.
a deer.
A deer.
There's a deer that
Help, an
What was it? I thought it
antelope.
was a cow.
Oh, the dead cow.
You see the
couldn't-
dead cat? It's a white. It's
a
the
calf.
dog from the third to last Breaking Bad episode. Ozymandias. I just watched across.
Don't spoil it. I haven't seen the ending of Breaking Bad yet.
There's a dog plays
Ben,
no
throw
part.
yourself down a flight of stairs
Yeah.
because you are.
Ben.
No, so yeah, I just thought of that. There's not one fish. I guess in the budget because they probably. Here's what I'm thinking they did, which is probably what they filled an entire stage with water. Right?
A lot of it
Yeah.
looks like it's. I mean, maybe we should.
1% was urine.
But
1%. Half of a
I mean,
percent.
the camera crew is peeing
If you
underwater
ever
the
had
whole
to
time.
pee, you just pee in the water.
Yeah.
There's nowhere else to go.
On this DVD, did you guys notice if there was any extras? By the way, guys, I still have the DVD option of Netflix. I'm the last remaining person.
Yeah.
I got mine. Don't worry.
Oh, you do?
Oh, absolutely.
Simply for the beauty of hard rain.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Get to the uppercut.
Get to the uppercut. Okay.
What about the beginning when they're chasing him on the boats, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And how somehow
the middle or the end?
How he's able to run away from the boats. Like they're the slowest jet skis. It's like that. It's like in Austin Powers where he's like, and he's like, no. That's what it's like. They're like, and they cut back. They're like, and he's like, cut back to him
And
just sloshing
that-
through the water, and then it's like,
If that
come on.
That Kenny guy.
I've been on a jet ski. They go like 60.
That Kenny guy, every time he's on a jet ski, he just is, woo!
He's so happy.
girl on
Is he
spring
not
break.
just
Giving
Ziggy
away
of
your
the crowd?
location.
He's
Silence.
so happy.
Total Ziggy, man.
Oh man,
In the
if
If I was
water.
him, I would play
He's
that
the
like
Zig
a
of the group.
Metal Gear
He's
Solid.
the Zig.
You got to be stealth on those
Man.
jets.
Metal Gear Solid
I mean, I
style.
guess you're announcing it with the
Jet moto.
But that school
large
chase
engine.
sequence was so good, and in fact,
Yeah.
I
And
have
then-
that's our first sound clip.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
After so the jet ski with Kenny on it crashes into the steps of the school, and he goes flying into the
Watch your step.
the trophy case. Watch your step. One of the first times Kenny almost dies. You killed Kenny. That's totally what this is.
South Park ripped off Hard Rain?
Kenny almost dies so many times until he does die, and then you realize he's not dead yet, and then he dies again dramatically in Morgan Freeman's arms.
Okay.
But now here's the sailor line after he's crashed into a trophy case. Nope. That is not it at all.
It's Jonathan, he's from Tennessee. Let's give him a break
God
today.
damn
It's
it.
all right. They're a
is
little
it?
bit slower down
Where is
there.
it?
This is Dear
It's like Aloha Sailor or something like that.
Oh, is it not up there? I don't even see it up there.
I know.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that's the best line.
I did definitely send it.
Low
stopped
tide,
and
low
rewatched
tide, low
it.
tide,
Low tide,
Oh,
low
yeah,
tide,
low
yeah.
tide.
G.
Low tide, sailor.
Oh man.
Low tide
Just-
sailor.
I
It's
was
right after he
expect-
says, "Watch your step." He flies into the trophy case. Now you
too
think
right.
that Kenny is dead?
Oh yeah.
Nope.
Nope, he's like-
He will woo the day. Did you see what I did there? He is wooing the day.
Interestingly enough, there's a little bit of wet ketchup in that trophy case. So he comes
yeah.
out with a little bit of wet ketchup on his hands.
Yeah.
He nailed
Apparently,
it.
also
He goes-
all the bullets in this town covered in wet ketchup. Little known fact.
Wow.
Insane
Wow.
fact.
Now, I believe, I don't know if you guys know this, but I was a merchant marine. Well, it's like I was in the Navy.
Yeah, I remember.
Bless your
And-
tats.
Big time. in
Yeah,
life.
a lot of
Big time.
tats.
Where are your
Big time.
tats?
And
time.
I was on
A lot of tots too.
I was on
Tater tots.
Tater tots.
I was
Tats
on
and
what they
tots.
called
Peeling
was a
potatoes.
retired vessel.
Yeah.
And mostly they send the rejects of the merchant marines to there, and we kind of just like go to weird towns. I mean, and there's this one town we were in. It was just off the coast of Maine, and they have this huge festival every year, and it only happens at the lowest of low tides. And I was with a girl on the shore, and my boat was calling me in, and I had to finish quickly. And as I looked into her eyes, as we were making passionate love, I just looked into her face and I said,
Low tide, sailor.
Super romantic.
Oh man, that was beautiful.
You know, I have a tendency to pee in the ocean a lot, right? And there's one. And
I thought you were required.
And I do it very. My wife always calls me out on it because I do it very like it's obvious. Like I put my hands on my hips, and I'm just like I'm just enjoying this
Got my
sight.
hands on my hips.
If you're ever swimming with me in the ocean and you see me like this, I'm just. And there was one time where I was peeing in like water up to my waist. And then the tide went out, and it was clear that you could see piss
it's
running
a
down my leg. And I just looked at my wife, and I said,
Low tide, sailor.
"Nailed it." That was nailed it.
and that story is not the actual part of it, but I do
Yeah.
pee that way in the ocean.
Now, you're a New Jersey guy.
Oh yeah.
There was that time. It was like, what was it? Like 2003. We were in Seaside Heights.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous. gorgeous. And there was a lot of stingrays that day, and they were all in the ocean.
It does happen.
And a couple, like there were some people out there like fighting stingrays. It was one of those days at the beach. It was just a weird thing. And all of a sudden, those stingrays attacked me and Casey, and I picked one up and I stabbed the other one with it. And I looked right into Casey, and he looked right at me and said,
Low tide sailor.
It's great. It's great. It's beautiful.
I don't know if you know, I'm rehearsing for Magic Mike 3.
Oh,
congrats.
I gotta get in a lot better shape. I'm training.
XXL.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
triple XL this time?
I'm training.
4 or 5 inches, yeah.
It's a Magic Mike Magnum, and I.
That's a great name.
It is.
3 M's. It's got the triple alliteration. So what I play a stripper from the nautical division, you know, and when I come out, my theme is Macho Man, not Randy Savage, the YMCA song.
Got it.
And I come out and I'm in my sailor uniform and I look at the women and I yell at them.
Low tide sailor.
And then I slide on my knees low on the stage and I rip my pants off.
Crushed it.
And then my retired vessel comes out.
It was a retired vessel.
That may not have been their best joke, but I saved it at the end.
Yeah.
That's all that counts.
Now,
they only remember the end.
Here's the thing. Mark and I have been friends for a while. He's a very talented percussionist.
Oh, thanks.
And
Thank you.
He wrote a jazz tune called Low Tide Sailor.
I sure did. It was supposed to be in Whiplash, but it wasn't.
It wasn't.
I got cut out. That was great. Too bad.
Are you dragging?
Watch out for cymbals.
And so, I was at one of his shows a couple weeks ago, and he's playing his drum solo. He's hitting it all. Cymbal, snare, foot drum, kick drum, lot of kick.
Right.
And then as soon as it's over, the crowd is just like silent because they've just seen magic. And he whispers into his Phil Collins microphone,
Low tide sailor.
And then it erupted.
and then all of us, I mean, like
jubilation.
It wasn't bras flying on stage. Like people were throwing their girlfriends legit on stage, clothes, whatever.
It was dangerous.
Girlfriends.
You got kind of injured, right?
I always get injured during my shows all the time.
When people are throwing
always
at you, it's
throwing stuff. Bottles, pretty much.
Full-on
condoms. Use Magnum condoms.
Yeah.
Usually.
That always makes
if you
me
need
feel
We just had a baby. We don't need this. Here, take this.
My wife's in menopause. Who gives a shit?
You need it.
We just had a baby, but we decided to use it one more time just to throw it at you.
The show has turned for
My fans are the best.
We're doing some highbrow here.
My fans are the best.
Doing some highbrow.
Fans are the
Nothing like
best.
throwing semen at people to bring in the highbrow
And when you
comedy.
say semen, I think you mean sailors.
Sailors. Hey,
Low tide. Hey, ding, 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 ding.
Alley to doop.
Crushing
There you
it.
go.
Oh,
Set it
right.
up
Guys.
and slam dunk.
Hard rain. Okay, now I want to kind of go into my my biggest problem with the movie, and that is Phil. Now I hated Phil.
Hated Phil, yeah.
Phil's character
And
had
Phil, let's
absolutely
explain-
no consistency.
Can we explain who Phil is?
Go ahead, Ben. Go ahead,
okay.
Casey. Mark, I will take.
Phil? No. Phil is the one
fast-forwarded
guy.
right to Phil.
Phil is the one guy working with the sheriffs that is kind of the
Phil Connors?
He's the dopey guy that's kind of in love with Minnie Driver. They insinuate, and he's just kind of the idiot of the group. And then when he finds out when Randy Quaid is gonna he's like, I'm just gonna take the money for myself. He's like, I don't think we should do that. And then at that point is where your big problem.
And this
comes
is where,
in.
like, every time they cut back to Phil, Phil has a gun, and he's like, I think I'm gonna shoot him now. I'm not gonna shoot him.
He's so
Stop
wishy-washy.
shooting. The whole
So
thing,
back
and
and
then when
forth.
Phil gets killed, you're like, well, good thing, Phil, because you're either going to die as a good guy or you're going to die as a bad guy. You died as just an idiot that couldn't decide on between barbacoa or shredded beef.
Here's the thing, though.
Chipotle.
They could have. Morgan Freeman could have scooped up Phil before he gets in the boat and drives off, and he just fucking leaves.
Yeah, he's like, peace out, Phil, because he doesn't know it, Phil. Again, Phil could have saved himself.
But he's only there for the money.
He is.
We know that. He's only there for the money.
Guys, if
Or
you're
is
watching
he?
Hard Rain,
He also works hard for it.
hashtag don't be like Phil.
Don't be Phil.
Don't be
And
like
hashtag
Phil.
wear a cross earring like Morgan Freeman. The dangly cross earring was so distracting the
Harrison
entire
Ford,
movie.
the George Michael, if you
I
will.
bet Harrison Ford gave it to him.
Yeah.
He was
He's
like,
like,
welcome
here's
to the
my-
club.
Well, when you
go.
think about it, Morgan Freeman's like the black Harrison Ford. Like they
I
both
can see
have
that.
awesome voices. They both have done amazing
Or
characters.
is Harrison Ford the white Morgan Freeman?
Oh, boom!
Can they please narrate my life?
Oh, that'd be so good.
When Morgan
That's the type
Freeman,
of thing I would do if I was just...
Harrison Ford, it'd be more like gruff and now.
Exactly.
are you Ed Asner's brother, Ted
Shit, you're right.
Asner?
You're guy going to Asner, yeah.
I didn't kill my wife.
I don't care.
I don't care.
Please buy mutual life policy. I'm Ed Asner, and I don't vouch for many products, but when I do vouch for them, I love them. Mutual life insurance. You want to get it? Because your family needs it. I'm Ed Asner.
You'd think I'd made enough money from being a voice in Up, but no, I got to do mutual life insurance. Actually, I hear he's a lovely human being.
I'm sure he's amazing. And if you ever want to call on the show or come on, we'd love to talk about any of your movies, including
Hard Rain.
Hard Rain.
It never stops being so weirdly awkward when you have to pull it out of the Netflix case and be like,
keep putting it in this.
Hard Rain. Instead of keeping it at the ready, you're like, nope, I'm gonna holster.
You know what? I'll keep it at the ready here, Ben.
I'm gonna holster this.
Hard Rain.
I'm gonna holster this beast for
Just interrupt him anytime he gets halfway through.
Okay, Ben, why don't you start talking about your favorite parts of the movie?
Yeah, I'd like to. When the tree.
Hard Rain.
That's the beginning of the. Because you warned me before I borrowed this from you. You warned me of the moments.
Yeah.
The first biggest
There's 1,000.
what moment for me was when the power line crashes and happens to aim right for the sheriff's station,
the jail,
and then kick the and that I thought the jail door was going to open up and he was going to get out that way,
but it didn't.
And it's like, nope, tricked you, Final Destination style. Yeah. That's not what's going to happen.
It just got open enough to get you ready. You totally blue ball
to just give you a fuck you,
And then this lands perfectly into Minnie Driver's character being the most precise use of a friggin' Swiss Army knife.
She's great.
She's so fast.
That Victorinox just
and she's able to unscrew everything so quickly. The banister at the end when she's in her house that's rising, she almost gets raped by Boggs. I wish I could tell you the sisters never got the best of Andy Dufresne. That's my Morgan Freeman.
It sounds like Kermit and Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, Kermit.
All of my impressions lend themselves towards a Kermit derivative. It's like my Schwarzenegger, Kermit. My Ray Romano, Kermit. My Minnie Driver,
my
Kermit.
Dad, Kermit.
My dad, and Kermit. My Hard Rain, Kermit. Shit, I fucked that up.
And my Heart Rain,
Kermit.
Oh man,
so
there's so many of those moments though in this movie. There's so many.
Everything is essentially just a plot device for you to just go, how's this gonna? Oh, okay.
When the big explosion happens, right after the stupid power line incident, they're up on the roof of the sheriff's station. The explosion happens right as they're standing up, right as Morgan Freeman and the gang are driving by. So it just happens to be like, there they are.
Sky.
They're the worst criminals ever. They just have the best luck.
Not sure if you know this, but there is a tour that goes out. Cool and the gang and Morgan Freeman and the gang perform. They each split sets, and the tour is called the Hard Rain Tour. Let's go to some.
I'm gonna take a nap on my microphone.
How long were you working on that? How long did you have that in your pocket?
Brewing past 5 minutes.
It's insane.
Perfect moment.
Let's go to some more sound clips, Jonathan. Let's just start.
Metal one's a good one because that's right when they're being chased by Kenny again on the jet ski. Super excited, Kenny.
Woo!
And there's a
bam, I'm right here.
There's a
Are you looking for me?
There's a transformer about to blow up, and so they climb up and they're like, "Get your feet out of the water!" And then he says this, I believe.
Oh shit! This thing's metal.
Oh shit! It's like they climb up it, and it takes them a solid 30 seconds to be like,
"This isn't plastic."
Oh wait, cold, wet metal is a very distinctive tactile feeling.
Yeah,
like I touch it. Oh, that's wet, cold metal. I know that.
Well, this isn't a tin and pull in general. Just be like, oh yeah, that's metal.
Yeah, and that's the first moment. That's the second time Kenny almost gets killed. And Christian Slater, even though Kenny's trying to kill Christian Slater, tries to help him in that moment because he's that good of a dude.
Yeah,
he's like, grab my hand. No, don't climb up there. It's metal. The transformer explodes. Kenny gets electrocuted on the metal thing and catches on fire in the rain.
In the rain with soaking wet clothes.
He catches on fire. It electrocutes him that much.
That could happen.
Makes no sense. Then you think he's dead.
No, he's got just a little more pain to go through.
And they're all sitting there, and that Morgan Freeman and the gang post gig, they're like, "Wow, it was a rough one." And then they're like, "I'm gonna be fine, right, Sarge?
I don't feel the pain anymore."
It's still raining on my face.
And it comes, and then he dies.
How many death? Yeah, that's a good point. How many death scenes in the '90s looked like someone coming and then dying?
70.
Every death in Tombstone callback. They all all came before they died.
There's one acting coach just teaching that in L.A.
Guys,
one guy.
death is like coming.
He's got a scarf,
but
he
you don't
looks
wake
like
up from it.
What's the guy's name again? The smart guy in Morgan in the Gang. Mr. Miller?
Mr. Miller.
Mr. Miller.
He teaches that. He wears a tweed blazer and a scarf, and he comes in like, ladies and gentlemen, it's me, Kermit the Frog here.
Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the Frog here. I would like to teach you all how to die while coming.
Suck.
Get out of here, Kermit.
Your movies blow, bro. Hard rain.
Do walking.
Actually, Kermit's movies don't blow. The Muppets are
I know, they're good.
How dare you? How dare you?
I would never. Okay. I believe we have. I want to go to some of these Betty White quotes with the old man because
Betty White Molasses is a great
Betty
one.
White Molasses is
great.
Just
Now put your hands up real slow, like you're in a big jar of molasses.
Who hasn't been in one? Come on.
It's such an easy metaphor to just visualize. You're like, okay.
Yeah. Because if you've never been to the Iowa State Fair,
Was that too fast for molasses?
Right by the butter cow.
There's.
While you explain this, I'm just going to try and do it
Okay,
in
slow as molasses. Let's see. So I'm at the Iowa State Fair, and they have jars of molasses that you can get into as a person. And whilst in the jar of molasses, you have to try and collect money that's stuck in the molasses. So you're like going through, but it's really slow. And then you have to get out of the jar of molasses as slow as possible without suffocating and dying.
What?
I made that up, Ben. I was just making up because if you're stuck in a jar of molasses, you're gonna die.
No, I was going with it. You think I'm that dumb?
Hard rain!
Kermit. He's about to do his come death scene right there.
Do it.
Now, see, you're coming and dying in a slow jar of molasses, so it's like.
You'd be dead by then.
That's a sexy death.
You looked a little bit like a robot shorting out, like Max Headroom.
Okay, what else do we got in there?
There's.
What's the inspiration?
You so much as breathe funny, and your head goes back out that window without you.
Oh, I remember that shot. That's as soon as they come in through the window and they accidentally avoid the bear traps.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And then the camera's right here, and the just huge shotgun held by Betty White just comes in.
What did she say there again? Play that again.
You so much as breathe funny, and your head goes back out that window without you.
Now, here's the thing. I had asthma as a
Patty
kid.
Chayefsky, I think.
And my grandmother also owned multiple shotguns. And sometimes she had a little too much sauce in the evening. And I'd be sneaking in from, a night on the town, if you will. Some batting cages and some putt-putt. And crawled in the window, and this is what she said to me. Jonathan.
You so much as breathe funny, and your head goes back out that window without you.
Yeah, Grandma.
Now get to bed.
Yeah, now shut your mouth.
Now brush your teeth.
No kasha before bed.
And my favorite part about that was Jonathan.
That's if you could pull that sound clip, Jonathan, of me just saying Jonathan. That'd be great. I appreciate that. Can we play the Betty White and her husband speech?
That's her middle name.
Betty Molasses White.
Betty Molasses.
That one is best old person fight ever.
Best old person fight ever. Did I have a stroke?
I'm going to row back there and see if he will shoot you or me. It's fine either way.
Henry?
You want me to get us out of here?
Yes, of course.
Then shut the fuck up.
So good.
Shut the fuck up.
That's the one fuck in the movie.
Is it really?
The one fucking movie.
Yeah, that's it.
I thought there was more. I thought there was a.
Well, you think they're gonna say it later when Randy Quaid goes.
Oh, yeah, he's like, what about the money? And he turns to Randy Quaid and he goes, screw the money. And you're like, come on.
No, screw the town.
Oh, screw the
Which is weird because it's so
town.
violent that it's like,
well,
like why?
And these local sheriffs have machine guns.
It's like
they have Kalashnikovs.
Whenever, did anyone else notice whenever Randy Quaid fires his gun, like they shake the camera to make it seem even crazier, and the sound effect for his gun alone is like he's firing a cannon. It's like, they show a wide shot at one point where he's firing in the graveyard, and it's just the camera's going. And I don't know if that was intentional or if just the cameraman was scared shitless of the bullets. Like, oh fuck,
That's Randy Quaid. Even if it's fake, I'm scared.
Yeah.
Or Randy Quaid has it in his contract. He fires real bullets, and all the cameramen are like, "Oh fuck! Oh god!"
I
need
love
real bullets.
the old man they found for this. Like, I don't even know if this is his real voice or if this is the character he played, because he sounds like Gus Jenkins. The Will Ferrell deleted scene in the best of Will Ferrell. Yeah. Oh, Gus Jenkins.
The old prospector.
You want to get out here? Oh, no, fucking, I'll tell you.
You are a master of impressions.
I'll tell you what.
Vegas, look out.
That's your Obama, right?
Yeah.
Gordy Brown.
And we were walking.
Get out of here.
After Jeff Dunham's day for Josh Macuga. Here at the Mirage. Jeff Dunham's crazy puppets.
And Macuga's
crazy impressions.
Loud Man Macuga and it's Kermit voice. Holy shit.
Variety calls it kind of one note.
The fries were great.
The garlic fries were amazing.
He does 37 people in the same voice while reading To Kill a Mockingbird, of course.
The weirdest one-man show ever.
Jonathan, did we pull the Shut the Fuck Up as a single?
Hey, shut the fuck up!
Yeah, that's what I'd like to tell all of you guys, because my Vegas show will be amazing, so you all can...
Then shut the fuck up!
There you go. Ben,
I think that
I did get you a wedding present, so why don't you...
Then shut the fuck up!
Exactly. And Casey, New York sucks, so stay in LA, you douche. And
Then shut the fuck up!
And Mark, I think you're great. And I don't want you to say anything, but I think this is just because you're making fun of my impression, so...
Then shut the fuck up!
All of them. He just hit the cycle. He just hit for the cycle right now. That was terrific.
That was
I can't quit, because the last time I didn't host and Ben hosted, it was a nightmare. He lost his mind. He said the N-word like 4 times. Like, Jesus Christ, Begley. Holy
he went
God.
on network.
The N-word being, obviously, Nescafe.
Nescafe. I love Nescafe. I was trying to get Nescafe to sponsor us that week.
Yeah, what are you going to do? What else we got?
I did host once.
Ray, gonna need a little inspiration, son.
And this is like this character's only point in the entire movie.
With the raging flood, he makes an end of those who oppose him, and he pursues his enemies into darkness.
I like how he only said one Bible quote in the movie, and then when they came back to him for inspiration, he's like, "I'm all out of Bible quotes." You're like, you said one,
Bruce, and then he just does the boss from the river.
Yeah. Went down by the river.
Oh my God.
And into the river they died. I don't know why.
How many times have you seen Springsteen?
23. And today is the 40th anniversary of the release of Born to Run.
Have you really seen Bruce Springsteen
23 times?
Oh man, I've been once.
He's the best.
He's a man.
I've never seen him. I
saw him 4 nights in a row in Pittsburgh. Oh, none. Even when I was 14, I drank like half my dad's bottle of Jim Dant.
Up top.
That's how Macugas do it.
Yeah, you know.
Jim Dant.
What do we have? We have any more?
We have some more. Yeah, we have. This is Morgan. Those are okay. We can skip J and K. The best. This is Christian Slater's Stallone yell.
Oh, nice.
When he slammed. It goes on for a while.
That's a pretty good.
That's when he slams.
That's not bad.
That's when he slams through the school window after he gets on his jet ski.
Nice.
Funny you should mention that. My other option for my guilty movie pleasure, Daylight.
Oh man,
talking about
Daylight for a minute.
I will also fly back for that.
Yeah.
Great.
I don't remember that movie.
I feel like we should end the show with some Stallone yell.
That's okay.
Yeah. Oh, actually, one last thing.
Okay, go ahead.
This is my favorite quote from Randy Quaid on Shit Free.
Okay, go ahead.
For 20 years, you've been looking out for 20 years, I've been eating shit. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Well, tonight I'm changing the menu. From now on, everything I eat is gonna be shit-free.
Beautiful. Nobody can do it better than Randy Quaid.
I feel like that's an end in this.
That's how we do it.
From here on out, everything I eat is gonna be shit-free.
Yeah.
Oh man, Casey, dude, congrats on the movie. Everyone, I can't wait to see it, man. And good luck on the East Coast. We'll miss you out here, man.
Appreciate it. I'll send you bagels.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Lots of lots.
And Mark, I love you.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Best buds. And I mean, if you guys watch Between the Sheets, the music that you hear during the show, that is Mark's original composition. So, Mark, thank you for that. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Josh Macuga. My show, Between the Sheets, youtube.com/BetweenTheSheetsTV. Ben?
I have At Ben Begley Comedy, and also the Funhouse Massacre is now starting to release more images. My image for my character, Deputy Doyle, has dropped today on at Funhouse Mass. Like I said last week, we can't put any more letters. Fuck you, Twitter, for making it look like we have a fun time at church. But I mean, I guess we would, but it's a horror comedy. And you can also look for hashtag Funhouse Massacre, and it on Facebook too. So that was a lot.
Absolutely.
But a lot of fun stuff coming out.
And we're not sure what we're going to do next week. I really want to do Con Air. But
oh man,
I gotta get a copy of that.
You gotta get a copy of Con Hair.
Oh, we got
Con Hair.
It might be.
I could just recite the whole thing for you.
If not, maybe a Van Damme classic like Lionheart, because that has an underwater uppercut as well.
The one I have is a full screen version, and I am a stickler for the aspect ratio of films.
Christ Almighty, Begley.
Good for you.
I think we should.
Hey, can we play the Randy Quaid one?
Can we go out with the Randy Quaid game? Until the next time, what's your guilty movie pleasure? No, play the Randy Quaid quote. So we almost had it.
Shit free. There we go. Yeah. Shit free. Z.
Shit free. Sorry.
For 20 years, you've been looking out. For 20 years, I've been eating shit. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Well, tonight I'm changing the menu. From now on, everything I eat is going to be shit free.
Guilty movie pleasure fans, stay shit free.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network. Views expressed here are those of the host only, not necessarily